Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. And together we are working to connect women in leadership and business, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul. And today is Mindset Monday.
Whoop, whoop. Hi. Mindset Monday is definitely one of my favorite days of the week because it really sets the pace for the rest of the week and the topics for the week. Being our focus, and then we also personally grow through these things too. So super fun this week.
I love Mindset Monday because by doing this, I get to have a chance to take control of my mindset, and I'm showing up every Monday, controlling my mindset and choosing and deciding and, living with purpose. Like
good, sad, indifferent, how hard it is some days.
Life lives. How we show up matters.
Yes. And how we show up, it goes great with one of the main topics this week, which is be confident. Be confident is our mindset topic, and Asteya, or not taking from others, is our sutra topics this week.
Because when we're confident, we don't want like the ego to take over and start taking from others. That's not what confidence is about.
Right. Confidence is about being truthful to yourself and who you are, which goes with what was that last week's?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Truthfulness and sincerity.
Truthfulness and sincerity.
Right? You have to be truthful to yourself and confident in who you are. Without taking from others. You don't want to take attention away from others. You don't want to take their joy. And ego is a big part of that, because we can create or distract with our ego.
One of the tips is to keep your ego in check. Humility is by no means a bad thing. Having a healthy self-confidence also means keeping your ego in check. Knowing if you know something or you don't know something. Your confidence isn't the ego being, I know everything, right? You have confidence in what you know and confidence in what you don't know. And that's how we can know to ask for help. And we practice things like key discernment.
Or even learning as we go. We have a conversation with somebody, we learn something about them. And then we also learn a little bit about that love and compassion around, maybe something that's challenging for them. We learn a little bit.
What came to mind was that the thought and thinking that what you can see in someone else is only what's in you. So if you can see someone's love and compassion through them telling their story, those are things you're actually able to see about yourself. So you need to take a minute and do that. I think that's perfect to talk about confidence, because I like this one here. We approach life with greater energy and enthusiasm, and we are more likely to achieve our goals when we're confident. We just show up in that strength. We are also more comfortable communicating, which makes us more approachable and more attractive to other people. So then people can actually confidence
is sexy,
right?
Confidence is sexy. So when you think of somebody who is sexy, or somebody that
like a model, when they walk down the catwalk, if they're like shuffle down, that's not attractive, right? They walk with poise and they hold their body and they're very confident, and that makes you take note, right?
When I think sexy confidence, I think Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yes.
She exuded sexy confidence, and she wasn't thin because she wasn't big either. She was very curvaceous, very voluptuous, and very beautiful. And her confidence shined through to how other people perceived her as well, right? So it's not about your size or your shape or
oh yeah, we're
any
not
of that.
talking about
It's
how much
totally-
you weigh or your self-esteem
Mhm.
around numbers. We're just talking
Mhm.
about building self-confidence.
I mean, think of like
and that's
the confidence of like Lizzo, right? She is a very confident woman. Or you know, there's many other examples of non-traditional beauty that is beautiful because they exude this confidence behind it, right?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So confidence starts with accepting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to start by going inside and accepting you for who you are and the things that you've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And then you work on your positive attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And focusing on positive behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're keeping your focus on positive things, right? So you're this actually changes your vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm learning, like
Mm-hmm.
doing these steps and doing them like one thing at a time, right? Like just like, okay, I am gonna, like we picked to be confident and positive around technology working for us, right? Because it's going to always do things and we had to choose that. So like one thing at a time, like, okay, we keep running into this barrier. What can I do? I can choose my mindset around that.
And once we decided to change our mindset around technology and how it was or wasn't going to work for us, that was a game changer. We were able to figure out 9 different ways of accomplishing the task based on whatever resistance we were getting from the world of technology. Right. It became a non-issue.
So when we're really upset and in that upset mode and we're reacting, we actually can't see the creative ways to deal with things around us. And that's how we get so hyper focused that we can't see a solution.
Right.
So by making that choice to be like, okay, we're just going to take a breath and we're just like, it happens. It's technology technologies. It does its thing, like life. It's part of the lifing. We just have to do the thing. And we now have all these different plan Bs. We almost have like we just keep adding to, okay, well, if that happens, then we just do that. We can do it that way, or we can do it that way. We're not attached to only being able to do something one way.
Right.
Yeah, it makes us.
It's that that mental flexibility piece, right?
Wow.
It all comes together, right?
We were reading about mental flexibility last week. We were like, this is a weird way to talk about it.
So Asteya in Not Taking from Others. The quote is, "The value of a man resides in what he is capable of receiving." Right? And that doesn't mean and that's Albert Einstein, but that doesn't mean that your value is based on what people will give you either.
Right.
Because you can receive so much within yourself that you gave yourself.
Right. Because you have that power over how your internal dialogue. And when you take control of that.
Right.
You're a game changer. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So I am currently rereading the 4 Agreements because we're doing a 4 Agreements week in June, and I've already started rereading and taking notes and stuff for that. So that's fresh in my mind right now.
Right.
And this whole thing,
we're getting you ready
with being confident and not taking from others, it really reflects the first agreement of being impeccable with your word.
Right.
Because your word has the power to create and destroy. And we'll talk about that a lot more during
there's a little drop of a nugget there.
And I think when you think about not taking from others, you don't want to steal their joy. You don't want to steal their time.
I think that stealing someone's joy happens like more than I would like, right? Like as a parent, like you hear the laughter and joy, and then you're like, you're supposed to be doing this other thing. Like sometimes I'll pause and be like, I'm going to let them have their joy moment, and then we'll get on track in a little bit, because I don't want to steal that joy and that happiness. Like just taking that conscious moment to be like, it's okay for them to feel joy. Like, I totally interrupted you.
So actually, it's funny you bring that up, because that's actually one of the things that the sutra topic talks about when with not taking from others with their time and their brain thoughts, right? We call it brain thoughts. Like I'm having in the middle of a brain thought right now, I have to finish this, right? And not derailing and not pulling attention away from somebody with interrupting and things like that. So that's all things that we're constantly working on, because it's easy to be in those bad habits, right? And it's resetting and rebuilding those muscles and rebuilding those habits, because it is a muscle to practice. And you're like the mindset around that, like why one of the things I'm trying to ask myself when I catch myself interrupting somebody or something like that is like, why did I feel the need to say that right then? Like, why did I feel the need to do that like right now? Was it like super important, or did I just have to get it out, or whatever the case may be? So I'm not calling you out, but I'm calling you out. I love you.
Right.
But this is all things we're
growth. And then I think too, it's a momzilla trigger, because how many times did your thoughts get interrupted from the kids, just the kids? Like, and then you try to sit down and do something and your brain's like, I can't even keep two words together, because it's been interrupted so many times.
Right. And there's been times where we've had to be like, okay, I am going to work right now. If you have something to bother me with, or something that comes up, no, I shouldn't use the word bother. If you have something that comes up for the next hour that you need to talk to me about, write it down so you don't forget. We'll come back to it later. That's just a little mom hack.
Just to help that workflow, like in the work environment too, because like, okay, we're going into focused work now, so that means I'm going to have to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G in my alphabet. So if you interrupt me on D, I have to start over. And that gets really frustrating really fast,
because you lose track of where you are and things like that. It's like you sit down to read a book.
Oh,
this is a really easy example. You sit down to read a book, and every couple of sentences or every couple of words, you keep getting interrupted. And that's really, really frustrating, right?
I feel like that was a thing, because it's like you're finally sitting down, right? And then the kids see you sitting doing nothing. And all of a sudden that means you have time to talk. Right? Gee, you weren't doing anything for yourself. What?
Right. Or maybe it's bills, right? You're trying to sit down and do math with the kids interrupting. No thanks. I'd rather not. So
you just took me back to being like 18, laying on the kitchen floor at my friend's house trying to do my math to make sure like balance my math. That's funny.
So the thoughts this week from the Sutra book are: not coveting or envying what others have brings gratitude and prosperity, right? So with that non-stealing, it's not desiring what they have. So like jealousy, egotism, things like that. Because by not coveting or envying what they have, you're just able to share more love into the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Tap into the abundance.
Right. Tap into the abundance. The second thought is: I can become trustworthy through honesty, integrity, and contentment.
How about I am trustworthy through honesty, integrity and content.
Yeah, you can easily change that into a mantra. And the last thought, I will not take what belongs to others or steal attention away from them.
That's I love to give someone their moment in the spotlight.
Yeah.
I find a lot of joy in that. Like when someone wins like an award or they're like I really enjoy watching them shine. And I think that is why weddings are so stressful for me, because I want it to be about what the bride wants. And not what the mother-in-law wants or the mom, right. And I have been that like in between person.
No, this isn't about you. It's their day. It's about them right now.
And that is, and that's why I don't like weddings, because I want it to be about the person, not about everyone else's expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Crazy.
I love that
Right.
because I got married when I was 19 and the ceremony and things like that, although it was lovely, it wasn't ever like about me, like and what I wanted.
Well, you were in an airport like 2 days before you got to get married.
I got stuck in
to
Chicago
be fair,
the day before I got married.
Planning your own wedding from an airport's not really a thing. Like
no,
that doesn't really make it about you. Other than squeezing it in was about you, right?
Right. Yeah, that was it. Military weddings. Woo, fun.
Woohoo!
Exercises. Give examples of when you took credit for the ideas of someone else. You gave someone something with expectations of receiving something in return. Right? When you give,
you're giving.
You are giving.
Yes.
Not expecting anything in return. And that can be hard sometimes. Right?
It can be very hard.
It can be very hard sometimes. Like, well, you didn't get me anything for my birthday, so I'm not going to get you anything for yours. Forget you.
And
right.
That's right back to the 4 agreements, like the things people, our response to a situation is about us. It's not about what the other person's response is about them.
Right. Like it's not about you, right? And contemplate to yourself, are you more of a giver or a receiver or taker? If you are a stronger giver, it may be difficult to receive. The next time someone offers you something appropriate, receive it. If you are more of a taker, find a way to give with no expectation of receiving anything in return. I love to give. Like I'm a giver. And I think that's part of my love language. And I mean, I like the idea of gifts, but I don't want somebody to necessarily spend money on me either. Because you can give amazing, wonderful gifts without spending any money. So just remember that. And think of all the wonderful gifts our children gave us when they were little, they're little treasures, they're rocks, they're pebbles, they're things. I still get pebbles. I still get pebbles from my kids.
I have
just little
Pokemon cards in my wallet. Yep, I get pebbled.
Yep.
And then they feel special too. Like Andy, my kiddo will be like, "Oh, Mom, you still have that in your wallet? Thanks, Mom." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you gave it to me." Yeah, I love it.
And then think of someone who gives a lot to you or your community. Offer that person a gift in appreciation of their generosity.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I think that is something I should just put out there for you guys to try this week, is to think of someone who gives a lot to you or your community and share the love with them, right? Offer that person a gift in appreciation of their generosity. Give them a hug, buy them a cup of coffee.
Pay them a compliment.
a compliment, right? It's free, but it makes them feel really good.
A little thank you card goes a long way as a handwritten note.
Yeah, any of that stuff.
I think that's great. And in the spirit of giving, as entrepreneurs, we talk a lot about how important it is for us to be giving in our community.
Yep.
And so our cause of the quarter this quarter is the Boogie Bin. And this is in honor of our Sweet Dogs of podcast. And this week, it's perfect because this week's Tuesday podcast is with Jill from the Boogie Bin.
Right. So you're going to hear all about her love and compassion and where she came from and why the Boogie Bin is what it is. And it's a thriving nonprofit pet donation thing that's really simple, easy way for you to continue honoring your own pets and love on other ones as well. Or if you don't have your own pets, it's a great way to be able to give to a cause.
Yeah,
that
to donate.
Supports local, small, nonprofit shelters.
Help the people that are on the ground working with rescuing animals in distress. And let them focus on what's important.
Right. Super awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting. In addition, we have Dr. Hema Murdy back.
Yep.
And Lisa Hannigan.
I know, it's going to be a
powerhouse week, you guys. I have goosebumps and I'm very excited. And then next week is also exciting. Also this week we have our in-person women
empowering women in leadership networking meeting at AK Clippers and Shears in Arlington at 6.
Isn't it
Amy King's
Clippers now?
Yeah, she rebranded. I think it's King's
Clippers. I will find out. We will find out
for sure
on Wednesday at 6 p.m. 100%. And let's see, Rayanne's grand opening is this week.
Rayanne Hall, we can support her opening her insurance agency.
And I promised to sing karaoke with her. So
I can't wait.
Thursday.
Charlie's
like, I can't wait.
Amazingly, but singing it's not my jam.
I
will do car karaoke to Disney all day long, but do not put me in front of a microphone in public and expect me to sing. Okay. Deal. Okay,
and
nobody wants to hear that.
Then we have Friday, we have the Stanwood Farmers Market and Arlington Farmers Market on Saturday. And I don't know if there's something going out on the farm this weekend. I'll have to check it out. Watch that community calendar on the website and see if anything pops up there. Or if you know something in your local area, let us know and we'll get it up on the community calendar. I just need the Facebook event, and it's www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com, and we'll get local events on at the bottom of the first page.
And we are going to start booking season 4 in a couple of weeks. So if you are interested in that, shoot us an email at info@womeninleadershipbsmb.com. Anything else?
That's it. That's great.
All right. We love you all. Have a wonderful Mindset Monday. Namaste.
I'm excited, apparently.
You are way excited today.